All right, Speed Gaming 2, this is Seneth, and welcome to another Super Metroid Item Randomizer League. Today we have Team Pro Gamer Girls and Komaru versus Meme Team 6. J-Chalk over representing on Meme Team 6 and Ploth representing our Pro Gamer Girls. And I am joined by the ever wonderful 329th Inline. How are you, sir?
I'm doing quite well. Excited for to get into this new mode for this new week of the Super Metroid Randomizer League. There was quite a lot of chaos going on last week with the route rando. I'm gonna be honest, a little happy to be a little happy to be done with that for a while. It was fun, but a lot to keep track of. So today we are going to be running a major minor item swap as well as random bosses.
Yeah, definitely. And those of you who are not familiar with this mode, so all the bosses' rooms are switched with each other. So if we go to Wreck Ship, we might run into Ridley. We go into Ridley, we might run into Kraid. We're not going to know until we get there. That's the fun part about this. And then basically major minors, meaning that all the major locations are swapped with each other. Basically all the Chozo statues with a few extras, and all the minor locations are swapped with each other. And that's how the game's going to play out. And here our runners go.
And yeah, to answer some questions in chat already seeing, so all four bosses will make an appearance because they are required to get to the end phase of the game. Something else to note though about the bosses that might be a little interesting is they still unlock the doors they unlock in the vanilla game. So a good example is Kraid locks the steel door, which is referred to as Kraid's Closet. No matter what boss shows up at the Kraid spot, you still have to kill Kraid to get access to that room. So another example is Phantoon powering the wreck ship. No matter where Phantoon is, the wreck ship won't be powered until Phantoon himself is taken down.
Yep, so that means that we could go to Wreck Ship and a different boss is there like Dragon, but we can't actually do anything in Wreck Ship because Phantoon hasn't been killed yet.
And both our runners grabbing that vanilla morph ball. It's got to be down here somewhere. And so going to take that over to check what item is hiding up in the ceiling.
Now, for those in chat who may be following some of our runners, as you should be, you may know J-Chalk from recently defeating the current world record holder Zosti in a randomizer race. That was pretty epic.
And as far as pretty epic things go, got a wave beam in the ceiling. So going to be helping out with damage output early on. That's always a nice thing to find. And also, our runners certainly know some ways around wave gates here and there, but it's always nice to have that right from the beginning. You don't have to worry about getting any of those glitches perfect.
And with that wave being collected, I just want to make sure that this is Smokey validated for those of you who know what that means.
What if your co-com does not know what that means?
So I'm going to try and recount this story. I don't know that I'm going to do a good job of it. But basically, there is a speedrunner of Super Metroid known as Smokey, and the one item that they always looked for in every seed was Wave Beam. And basically, their seed was not validated, according to them, until they found that Wave Beam.
The lore, the more you know, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of lore around this game.
Well, so some super missiles found down there, getting some access to the left of Morpho with the power bomb pickup. So super missiles are definitely nice to turn up when, we still don't know where charge beam, whether we'll even see that. So super missiles are a great way to be dealing damage to bosses, especially late game bosses. And something you don't see too often in speed runs is saving. Sometimes runners don't like to take saves. In this mode, however, we could drop into the first boss room and that could be a Ridley fight, which is a heated room and a ton of damage. So I would imagine we'll be seeing a lot of saving here. Oh
yeah, definitely. You never know what you're about to run into until you run into it with this boss rando.
It's slightly more forgiving than last week's mode as far as any room could be anything. But in this case, as we saw, a lot of saving last week.
All right, so we got an E-Tank down at Bomb Chorizo. We're not going to be fighting the DLC boss today like we were all week last week.
Hey, E-Tank on Power Suit. Not going to complain about that. So, Sinith, do you have any idea what might be the first big progression item that pops up here?
Yeah, a lot of chat is starting to get some predictions in. I'm seeing some gravity predictions. I'm feeling Varia today.
I'm sticking with my my usual. I feel like Speed Booster is incoming, so.
Ooh, that's a nice little major if you can find it.
And the major down here at the Terminator room was the X-ray visor, which means we are 1/3 of the way to that microwave combo that our runners sometimes like to take advantage of here.
Hopefully we can see that in action coming up here. Microwave is a nice little trick that we don't get to see very often in Randomizer just because you don't always find the items in the right order before you kill the bosses that can actually get damaged by it.
Yeah, that combination being charge beam, plasma beam, and X-ray visor. And more supers down there. Oh, space jump. I should have called space jump. That's going to be our first major item there.
Yeah, space jump is going to be a huge movement upgrade for both J-Chalk and Ploff going through into Pink Bryn and further beyond. I'm wondering, do you think this is going to push either runner to go up Red Tower and go look for a gravity suit to jump into Wreck Ship?
I feel like in the random boss mode, Wreck Ship is even more... I mean, Wreck Ship can be a gamble in general, but I feel like it's an even tougher call to make early on because you're not even guaranteed that you'll get access to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could fight a boss that is not Fantoon, so you don't get access to anything. But also, you could bump into a boss that you really can't handle at this point in the game. So I would be very surprised, but it could be a big play that makes a difference if something's up there. And Ploff doing a nice job of cleanly executing through these rooms to get a little bit of an edge here in execution so far.
Yeah, and just because the bosses are randomized and we don't actually know what boss is going to show up in Wreck Ship, that does not eliminate Fantoon from showing up in Wreck Ship. Fantoon could definitely be back there, and we don't know it till we go there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's the rough gamble is, you know... now, if we go Kraid right and we see Fantoon, then I think that changes. Maybe you start to think, do I want to go up before I, without a Various suit? How far do I want to dip with 2 E-Tanks and no Various suit in an Orfair? But we'll see. Our runners are certainly skilled enough to make those tough plays and tough calls. And it'll be exciting to see what direction they choose to go, if it's the same, if there's any divergence, and how that impacts the game.
Sure. Yeah, and J-Chalk is known for going into Wreck Ship and then skipping Wreck Ship, and, just killing Fantoon, getting a couple of few things at the bottom, and then dipping right back out. I don't know that's going to be the play this time, especially with the items that both runners currently have. I think that we're probably going to go see Kraid first, see what boss is behind there, and see if it's too tough to kill, or, see if it happens to be something we could use.
Yeah, Ploff not interested in any more regular missiles. 25 is not bad. If you stumble upon them, like, in your path, not a bad pickup. But with the fanfare, I think both runners are going to be much more interested in super missile packs if they can, get those offered instead. Love having Wave for Wavegate.
Yeah, I'm liking this play by Ploff to jump into Wavegate. This is a major item, and having Wave makes this completely in logic.
It looks like Jay with the same thought process here. These got to be careful with those side hoppers in this room. They hit hard on a power suit. We do have 3 E-Tanks. Well, 2 going in because the third one was behind that gate. But let's see.
Even if you did take a couple of hits going in, those side hoppers, I should say, you get that extra E-tank in the back for a nice little refill on your way back out.
Ploff saying no to the reserve tank. I'd say that's
I'm
maybe
not
an interesting call this early in with only a couple of tanks, especially if we have to dip into the sauna that is Norfair.
J-Chalk ends up going for it, grabbing that E-tank or that reserve tank. Yeah, like you said, this could be a decision maker as far as having the right amount of energy in order to survive some Norfair heat.
I think 3 tanks is. I think that's the bare minimum, but I think that it's totally completable, especially a runner of Ploff's abilities. But we'll have to see if that even is a factor. Varia could very well pop up somewhere and make all of this conversation a waste.
Yeah, definitely.
I do like the early X-ray check here, though. Having space jump from the beginning makes this room completely illogic. And not only is it illogic, but it's the comfortable way to go through. The normal way you go through with grapple beam, you can still take a lot of damage. So very nice. Oh, and there's charge beam. So we're 2/3 of the way to that X-ray combo you were talking about.
Yep, so it's coming. Keep your eyes peeled, everyone in chat. It's coming. Yeah, this is a really good play by both racers to hit X-ray right now. This is, again, a major item. There's no reason not to go back here when you have space jump, and they're getting rewarded by getting that charge beam.
And Ploff again with some nice execution to does get hit by one of the waivers, but it's far enough into the room that there's no spike damage there at the bottom. So good execution to get out cleanly and not burn a lot of energy on that one. You can take some damage in the X-ray hallway if you're not careful.
Yeah, I want to say on a power suit, you're taking anywhere from 60 to 70 points of damage every time you hit one of those spikes, if not a little bit more. I have to actually look up the value. It's a lot. We'll put it that way. Ooh, grapple beam over its spazer beam.
Yeah, there's some benefits to that right off the bat would be if you jump into an early Dragon fight, it does give you an option. Gravity-less Dragon is hard to get that grapple strat, but it's much nicer than having to go through a vanilla fight, and just taking Dragon down with shots. So
Yeah, so I'm wondering if this grapple beam is prepping our runners for a Dragon fight behind Kraid, or if it's hinting to our runners to go up to wreck ship.
Well, Ploff is interested to see what's over in Kraid's lair. I think this is a really good call. I'm sure that we'll see Jay make the same decision. It's if you can't complete it, it's information, right?
Yeah.
At least you know what boss is over here and what boss can't be somewhere else. Oh, and more supers. I like
Always
I like
want
the
more
payout,
supers.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that both of our runners are going to be hitting up the nearest save point to Kraid, and then jumping into the room to see what's there, and then jumping back out. Looks like Ploff is way ahead of me on that.
Yeah, there's been some clean execution on both runner sides, but Ploff really showing off some skills to move through these rooms quickly and efficiently.
Now, just trying to read this from a logic perspective, we don't have enough ammo to kill Ridley. We really don't have enough ammo to kill Dragon. Fantoon could be back here. We have enough ammo for that.
Yeah, I'm sometimes bad with ammo cancel. We're gonna see what boss this is, and it is coming from the other side here, so that is a Ridley fight. Oh. And Ploth not even going to bother with that. Doesn't have the health anywhere near to even live long enough in that room. So, but again, that's good information. We know Ridley can't be up at the wreck ship. So now the play possibly to go up to wreck ship, it's a 2 out of 3 chances that it's easily completable. I guess I shouldn't say Power Suit Fantoon is not easy, but for these runners, maybe it's a a little less of a burden than it would be for somebody like me. And you have the grappling beam for Dragon, so be interested to see what they do with this info.
Yeah, definitely. And as you said, because Kraid's not here, we haven't killed Kraid. That Kraid closet, or the E-Tank closet, is currently sitting gray, and we cannot open it.
And Ploth is going down, so we've got a Norfair check for Ploth 27. Let's see what Jay decides to do. You did mention, I'm not as familiar with Jay's playstyle, so you did mention that Jay has an affinity for early wreck ship plays.
Yeah, I mean, he's sitting on enough E-Tanks where I think he would be comfortable just going straight up to wreck ship from here, but he's right next to high jump. There's no reason for him not to go check it and then go up red tower.
I'm really, really happy with the super payout we've been getting. The seed we saw earlier today, I think one of the runners ended with 15 supers for the whole run. So,
oof.
Already going to be at 20 when Ploth picks this one up here.
Yeah, and we're sitting on 4 E-Tanks now, so plenty of energy to be playing with. And our runners are still pretty close together, taking about the same route, doing a little bit of high five in this room. One is leaving, the other one is entering. So I'd say they're about one room apart from each other, but that can change very quickly with item density, with changes in what you're doing. And Ploth is going to go check Ice Beam. I like this play because this is a major. It's right here. You have enough energy to go through this heat room. Not bad.
Yeah, and you can even see how much more efficient the movement is with something like Space Jump as far as time management while you're kind of melting right there.
All right, so does Ice Beam pay out for Ploth? It does not.
It is a little bit, it's a damage increase. Not as much as you'd like to see with something like Ice or Plasma, but definitely not what Ploth was hoping to find.
Yeah, a lot of people who generally watch Super Metroid randomizers call this beam the best beam in the game, which, I mean, if you find it before Plasma, okay, I'll agree with you.
Yeah, and we see just kind of the room or so lead that Ploth has amassed just from kind of smoothly executing these rooms, as we got another high five there. Not quite in line with each other. Ploth was in the ceiling as Jay was running underneath, but essentially.
Mm-hmm. And as TG Derp is pointing out, neither runner doing a save scum for that ice check is kind of odd. I mean, there is a save station right here. It is kind of a risky check. Yeah, it's definitely interesting that neither runner decided to do that.
So we've got 4 tanks, got a lot of movement, between grapple and space. Where would you head to next, Sineth? What are you thinking?
I'm feeling the wreck ship play right now. It's a 2/3 chance, like you said, of having an easier boss. I don't think it would be Dragon or Dragon or I don't think it would be Dragon because we already know where Ridley is. I think the progression is just pointing to wreck ship at this time.
Well, it appears that Jay has the same progression possibilities on the mind, because Jay is making the play back up, and Ploth is going through a little bit of a hell run here. Has more than enough health to tank this and handle it. We will see. This is a big divergence and could pay out huge for one runner. And we're just shy of 20 minutes in. See Ploth having no problem getting to Bubble Mountain with this energy count.
Yeah, and there's another major here over where Speed Booster is. So, I mean, this is, again, not a terrible check. If you can also get to Norfair Reserve, not a terrible check. Taking a safety save just in case, heat damage gets to you or King Cack decides to kick you off the mountain.
Yeah, this is a kind of edge of your seat moment, right? Because a lot of the seed could hang on what one runner finds.
Yeah, and this is where J-Chalk could make up some time here because Ploff is going to have to sit here in the refill room and wait for these bugs to get up and kill them so that Ploff can refill their energy.
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario, I love to see a nice close race. So best case scenario is there's something good in both paths.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Ploff is done refilling, going to run down to speed and check the major there. Yeah, I mean, this could be a suit for all we know. This could be Varia. That would be the hugest play if we found Varia right here.
I feel like even gravity is nice. You're close enough that you can get back and break the glass and do some Meridia checks. I mean, that's a just as viable a play.
Oh, it gets paid with a reserve tank, though.
Yeah, it was a little too far into that one to avoid it, as Ploff was not interested in the reserve tank earlier, but I don't think it's bad to pick those up, especially with Ploff being down here in, these heat rooms.
So Jay is actually checking criteria power bombs first. This is another major location that a lot of runners won't check just because it's out of the way and you don't typically go here for just about everything. But, this could be really nice. Nope, just a super. I'm sorry, a missile. It was a minor. I'm not a major. Sorry about that, chat.
No, it is certainly can be tough to keep track of where all these are, that's for sure. I know I mixed mine up. Oh, that's a nice different ship model we've got there on Jay's side. I missed that on the intro.
Yeah, Jay's actually going to go check Gauntlet first, which is a major.
Yeah, and the only thing about this major is it can't be a suit, which they do just to avoid, putting too much stuff, too accessible right from the beginning. So no suits in criteria. But there's plenty of other majors that we need.
Yeah, and as chat is pointing out, this location that Jay's going into really paid off in J-Chalk's last 1v1. Basically what happened is that there was an ice beam back here, which was your only logical access to get into Bot Woon.
And we see Ploff uncovering more tanks. This time it's an E-tank. Ooh, and there is speed booster, so kind of going in the trend there of access to a Bot Woon, right? Need speed booster if you don't have that's one of the ways you can get to that. So speed is a big pickup.
I'm really liking this speed location where it is, especially knowing what we currently have access to. And Jay's trying to get a flash over here to go backwards through Gauntlet. This is possible, but it's not easy.
I don't think we got a peek at what the I could be wrong, we may have seen it. I don't think we got a peek at what the expansions were on the back end of Gauntlet, so I'm surprised, unless it's powerbomb count or something I'm misreading. Yeah, I'm surprised Jay's not just going to go check what those miners are. Can certainly still use
he does not have enough power bombs to escape Gauntlet from where he currently is.
Oh, is he down to 2?
Yeah, he had 2 left.
3.
Yeah, he has got a total of 5 to do this. But now he's going to hit a reset besides burning some time here, while Ploff is going to be fighting Crocomire.
Well, if nothing else, Jay gets good information and can go right, and then, maybe upon the discovery of another power pack can head over here. But my favorite boss is on screen. I love Crocomire.
I'm a little sad that we're not ripping Crocomire's arms off, but,
Well, I mean, we're going to melt him alive. Isn't that enough?
Oh, and there's an ice beam behind Crocomire. That's a really nice item to get.
Crocomire sharing some ice today.
So that could be... Actually, no. We have speed and ice to get to Bot Woon right now. So we now have 2 items to access Meridia with.
So since Crocomire was blocking the ice beam, would that make Crocomire a goalie?
Sure. If you're into hockey, I guess.
And I see a question in chat. What bosses have we seen? I think the Ridley, I think I've seen chat refer to him as the Space Pelican. Ridley is hanging out at Kraid, and we're going to get another look at a boss here at the wreck ship. Jay giving us a look here.
And it
it's
is
vanilla.
a default Phantoon.
Well, I mean...
So this means wreck ship is completely open after this Phantoon fight.
Yeah, I was going to say, it at least feels good, right? Because you know that you didn't just come up here. I mean, you're going to have to come up here and fight the boss anyway, but it feels good to be able to get a couple more item checks. And not only did Crocomire have Ice Beam, but down here as well, bombs. Morph Ball bombs are nice for a couple of reasons, but the main one being it helps you conserve your power bomb ammo. You don't have to use power bombs for tiny bomb jumps or something, as we've seen our runners doing and kind of dealing with already.
Right, and it helps you get through Gauntlet too if you're experienced using morph bombs to get through Gauntlet. I have seen Jay do that a few times.
Well, what I'm liking right now are these X Factor strats that Jay's got going on.
Yeah, may as well use that power bomb ammo while you can, huh?
Yeah, and very good knowledge on Jay's part, getting Phantoon far enough down that the super will not enrage. Instead, it will just finish the kill. So our first boss goes down at 25 minutes, 25 and a half minutes. And more importantly than just getting that boss down, Jay's going to get access to a bunch of checks here as the lights have been turned on.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of majors here, and not to mention minors too. So this is going to be huge for Jay. I'm feeling a suit back here.
Well, based on what we've seen on Ploff's side, I would not be surprised because Ploff found some good stuff with that Ice Beam is a nice pickup, especially for the Metroid room. It's going to save time there, but not too much else has turned up, and I feel like we're kind of running out of major locations down here.
Yeah, so this could turn into a speed versus ice clear of Torian. I know J-Chalk knows how to do the speed Zeb skip. I know that he's had difficulty doing it, but he can do it.
Yeah, and I think that you're completely right there because where speed was located, it might be a while before Ploth, unless Ploth gets really stuck on anything else, as far as like limited progression options, it'd be a while before Ploth goes over to Gauntlet, and vice versa. There wasn't really anything else to pay out and push you towards Kraid, especially if Jay finds some other stuff up here. So I doubt we'll see an Ice Beam on Jay's side.
Yeah, definitely. I think Jay will go down to Norfair eventually, but yeah, I don't think he's going to go all the way down to Crocomire to get that Ice Beam. And as we check this Norfair reserve, is it anything hype? It's a gravity suit!
Oh, there we go. That is the kind of payout that Ploff was hoping for. And a super tank to boot. This is some nice new threads for Ploff. Gonna be running out of here with the swimsuit.
Yeah, make sure to get your magical pancakes on.
So I gotta say, you gotta head up. You gotta head up and check out Meridia.
Yeah, I think Ploff is going to be hitting Meridia and then Wreck Ship. So far, Jay has been busting as far as checking Wreck Ship. Jay now does have the energy to do those heat runs through Norfair. So I think that if Jay doesn't find anything on the next major, is definitely going to be going down to Norfair at this point.
Yeah, well, this was definitely the kind of find that Ploff was hoping for, and regardless of where that Various suit is, was able to play this really well. And oh, we're getting the Frogs Speedway here. Very nice. Oh my goodness, what an awesome clip through that. Get some hype in
Yeah,
chat for
that's
Ploff. That was awesome.
yeah, that's a super dangerous clip because if you are not pressing that fire button in a very rhythmic pattern just enough, you can get stuck inside the blocks and then you are soft locked. You must force reset your game.
He did save just before that, but still, that was really just, and that just goes. I mean, that's been the whole run. The execution in Ploff has been very impressive, and it's paying out nicely because being able to maneuver those hell runs without those hot rooms without a Vari suit did lead to gravity. So, gonna hope to find Vari at some point. You don't want to go down to Lower Norfair without it. That's quite an ask. But other than that, this is it very well could be up here in Meridia somewhere. We haven't seen anything else, unless I've missed it. I don't think we've seen anything besides E-tanks in a wreck ship so far.
Yeah, I think Jay is now gonna skip over bowling and just leave wreck ship and try to get down to Norfair as quickly as possible.
And this morph ball, little kind of morph ball juggle that Jay is doing, it's a shame because Jay knows where Speed Booster is, just couldn't take it out. Or couldn't leave the room with it. But high jump boots there at the wreck ship reserve.
That's pretty good for worst room in the game. So, I mean, trying to get back over here after having speed, I just don't see it. I think Jay's going to look for a different item. I mean, we have space jump anyway, so...
Yeah, kind of the only saving grace there, right? I highly doubt any runner would want to prioritize going over to get speed and having to come all the way back here and go through wreck ship to get access to that.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a suit, maybe, certainly a different story, but...
Yeah.
And Ploff doing, just as you suspected, going through that Meridia first makes perfect sense on the way up to wreck ship, no doubt, but gonna clear out as much of this as possible and take a peek at who is the boss of this underwater area.
Yeah, definitely. So this can only be Fantoon or Kraid over here. I'm sorry. No, not Fantoon. Dragon or Kraid.
And Ploff, again, showing off great movement through this game. Able to get the ice clip to go right through, skipping speed. And is going to go toe-to-toe metaphorically. I don't think Batoon has any toes, but toe-to-toe here, taking on the snake. And to answer a question in chat, Asner, yes, Ridley is hanging out at Kraid again. Oh,
And
blink.
as a
Go ahead.
as a reminder, be sure to follow our runners. They're doing a nice job of showing off their skills here against each other. They do great content on their own channel, so be sure to check them out. Jay gets rewarded with a plasma beam.
I mean, that's big, especially for damage output, especially for late game with charge, but I don't think it's certainly not gravity suit big.
Oh yeah, no, Jay hasn't gotten anything huge like a suit, so I think our Varisuit has to be hiding behind where Dragon's sitting right now. So depending on what this boss is, we could be fighting and getting that Varisuit, or we could be fighting and not getting that gravity suit.
All right, I'm
Or
making
Varisuit.
Sorry, Sin, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I'm making my prediction. This is Kraid in here, and it's going to be suit in the closet.
All right, commentator's curse.
I'm wrong.
It's a Dragon fight.
I've never been so wrong in my life. There it is. Not a bad fight to bump into with gravity suit, grapple beam, quite a few E-tanks. Charge, ice wave, spazer. I feel like Ploff is equipped well for this.
Jay's going to be doing another ship refill. I don't think Jay's going to be doing a save here. I think Jay will get closer to Norfair and then do a save. But nope, he does a save and then he's going to leave.
All right, gets
Ploff
grabbed.
trying to get the quick kill grapple, but didn't get it.
gets pulled away from the electricity there, and definitely has the energy to tank some of these hits. So wouldn't be too. Yep, there we go. Was just a hair away from, maybe a pixel or two away from grabbing it the first time, but on that second one, we have got deep fried shrimp.
All right, so are we going to find Varia behind Dragon, or are we going to have to do some shenanigans to get Varia down in Norfair? Well, there's my answer.
Something else to keep in mind, though, we haven't seen Shaq Tool. And another thing is that Dragon kill in Meridia is going to give us access to that some of those shielded doors. So that's Plasma, and then another pathway to get through Meridia. And I don't think we saw either of the sand pits. So left sand pit does have a major in it. Yeah, and chat pointing out Jay is hunting down for that for another power bomb pack to get access to Speed Booster.
Yeah, Jay might be thinking that's his only access to get to Bot Woon at this point. It doesn't have the items in order to do a suitless Meridia, so we're going to have to go through Norfair in order to look for a suit, look for power bombs, and we know that the gravity is sitting pretty down at Norfair Reserve.
Yeah, and something else, it's not going to be quite as useful as Jay would have liked it to be, but I'm noticing that Ploff is at 15 power bombs, so there were obviously a few power bomb expansions along this route that Ploff took through Norfair, so Jay will have the ammo to consider speed, so I wonder if, with the knowledge... Okay, so this is an interesting play. We got Jay heading back over to Ridley.
Is Jay going to go for a suitless Ridley fight?
35 supers, and a lot of energy as far as the ability to tank this for a while, as far as like seconds to be burning down there. But has to be real careful not to get poked by the tail or the claws, because that's going to do a lot of damage on Power Suit, plus the consistent heat damage.
Yeah, I know Jay has done low percent ice and reverse boss order, so he has done a Ridley without a suit. It definitely, I think, has the energy to do this, but like you said, super risky. You don't want to get poked by the tail. You don't want to get hit by the fireballs. It is super risky.
And kind of stealing some commentary from chat here, this play really doesn't open anything. There's one item behind Ridley. I guess, chat pointing out, Jay could think that's at least Gravity Suit and could help him move forward. But it's not the same as like a Phantom, which powers up the ship, or Kraid, which at least unlocks the closet type of thing. So there's no extra access granted because of this.
Hey. Jay already took a hit from Ridley, so I think he only can take like one more hit before he's going to have to reset and try again. Yeah, I think you're right that this is turning into a, hit by flames. Yeah, this is probably game over, and we're going to have to reset.
That's a shame, because that
21
is really
left.
Down. Yeah, but probably not enough health to avoid cooking before you can get over to the refills, so... It can be done, as we've seen. Jay managed to take down the dragon, but...
I think Jay's going to give it one more try, and then he's going to leave.
And Ploff is just going to go for this. Going to blind check. Oh, and it is Varia. We've seen it here before. Shaq Tool had a nice change of clothes as well, although we won't see the change of clothes. The purple stays, but we do have some wonderfully added heat protection.
Definitely. And where's Eden 8 at?
You got a hashtag bet on Shaq, apparently. I like that Ploff didn't kill Shaq Tool this time through, because she's happy with with the pickup. I've seen so many runners leave there with a reserve tank and take their frustrations out on the Shaq.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so Ploff definitely sitting in a very good position now to clear the game. Knows where Ridley is, so I'm thinking from here going to go to Kraid, kill Ridley. I apologize.
Did Ploff go up to Plasma? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
There is Eden 8 with Shacktool in chat.
Yep.
Yeah, there was no Plasma. So there were a couple of outlying places that could have been hiding. So I really like that's a good call on Ploff's part to go ahead and at least consider that this could be a pretty trolly location and wait out the little bit of Shack Tool time we have to. We are getting a slight high five here. Actually, a door transition high five.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay is going to be heading down to see what Norfair had. I think at this point, Jay knows there's at least a suit, one of the suits. We actually know what it is, but...
I don't think I saw Jay go for the second attempt Ridley, so Ridley's still alive for Jay, yeah?
I think there was definitely a second attempt, but it took another death.
Oh, got you.
And nice use of the little baby Kraid over here to get some super missiles a little more quickly. I've been seeing runners do this recently, and I really like it for farming.
Yeah, Mini Kraid holds, I believe, 5 supers on him. And I think the biggest reason that Jay decided to try and kill Ridley before going down to Norfair and doing hot runs is Jay did a full clear of Wreck Ship, didn't find anything, and is probably feeling really behind right now because he's still sitting at no suits, but is going directly, and I mean directly, to the gravity suit.
Jay on a mission. Yeah, that's gonna break this seed open for Jay. I would imagine Jay takes that gravity suit right into Meridia. We'll maybe check a couple of the majors immediately at Bubble Mountain, but I don't think we're gonna see a big Norfair dive here.
I'm betting otherwise. I'm thinking Jay's feeling behind enough that he's gonna skip the majors here and go directly to Meridia. But nope, he's going straight to speed.
And Ploff has got Ridley pretty low. The only nice advantage Jay had being in this room did have the charge plasma combo. Ploff is running charge ice wave spazer, but nonetheless, Ridley the menace is taking care of for Ploff. And that's going to get access to this item back here. But more importantly, that is progression towards wrapping up these bosses. Just vanilla E-Tank. Yeah, I think the only real item search that would benefit Ploff would be, I'm sure she's looking for plasma, speed, and screw attack. And speed is even at this point just helping you get through the rooms faster, because that bot, like that whole speedway process, that's all done, so we don't have to worry about the requirements as far as that's concerned. Ice is the much more valuable late game play, especially how it helps you with the Metroid room.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Ploff do a full clear of Wreck Ship at this point. It's probably just going to turn into go down, kill Kraid, because we know Kraid is now at Ridley. And then go up and kill Fantoon, save at the ship, and go through Torian.
Would you say that he's creating a lot of commotion down there in Lower Norfair?
As long as it's commotion in the ocean.
It was a bad pun, and I'm sorry for you, chat.
That was a stretch. I'll give you that.
So, and Jay showing us where Ploff was picking up all those powerbomb expansions. Doesn't feel good down here because Jay would have liked to have those up top on the surface.
Mm-hmm. Now, I wonder if this would happen. I'm wondering if Jay is feeling to do a risky heat dive right into Lower Norfair, because it's really a 50-50 chance if that gravity suit is going to be required at the boss down in Lower Norfair, or if it's going to be required at a vanilla Dragon. And we in commentary know that Dragon's in Meridia. But Jay doesn't know this.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember. I was like, wait, we know where, and I was like, oh wait, yeah, Jay hasn't been over to Meridia at all, so.
And chat making the call that he's going to check Crocomire, which is exactly what he's doing.
That is going to net the Ice Beam, which is great for endgame for the Metroid rooms. Also nice to have the full beam combo as far as damage output, but I'm not sure, I'm actually fairly certain that it is not going to be enough of an increase to make up the difference rate that Ploth has been able to establish with that call.
And it looks like Jay is tearing off Crocomire's arms.
My poor friend. I love Crocomire.
So yeah, I can only imagine that Jay is hoping that Ploth has made the same poor plays as him, but knowing him, this is probably he's thinking Ploth is way ahead of me, and I just need to do something in order to hopefully find a tank, hopefully find a suit. But yeah.
Yeah, I would err on the side of I don't know that it was a bad play to go up to wreck ship though with what we had, especially because it turned out to be Fantoon. So poor play, maybe instead of a poor play, I'd say the wrong play.
That's very true.
Yeah, it's a really, there's that red tower. It's every version of Rando except Route Rando for Super Metroid to me has that decision you have to make. When you get to Kraid, you finish that area, do you go up or do you go down? Or even at the red tower split, do you go up or do you go down? And I've seen so many seeds decided by one runner goes up, one runner goes down.
Oh yeah, it seems that way for every kind of Super Metroid randomizer is the up versus down play.
And don't forget, Jay does have plasma. So is going to make up time, especially on, did spend time on a couple of failed, I don't want to say failed, but reset Ridley fights just because of the heat damage. But is going to be able to make up time there, is going to be able to make up time on any charge shots required for Mother Brain, just because it adds up. And Ploth still has to go up and take care of Fantoon. I do think Ploth's route left is shorter, for sure. Because we're going to have to see, Jay is going to go all the way up first. Maybe we'll decide to go down to and do a suitless Lower Norfair, but me at the the bad level that I run this game at, that concerns me. But maybe Jay feels more comfortable with it.
Yeah, I mean, a suitless Lower Norfair would not be pretty. We definitely have at least one Crystal Flash for it. There's a bunch of different places that you can refill energy here. But it is super dangerous, even with this much energy left. Jay's definitely going through Croc Escape now, so I don't know if he's going to go back in at this point, and instead he's going to go straight through Meridia, just based on where he's headed.
Yeah, and I actually forgot, because I see Jay in the gravity suit. I forgot that Jay also hasn't been to Dragon yet, so that's it's a tall order to catch this up. But I don't want to count anybody out till it's absolutely over, till we see that dot done. But it is a tall order, and it looks like Jay is going to head all the way out. So not ideal as far as effective routing. Is going to have to come back down here after picking up Varia, and Varia is in a terrible place. Is going to have to wait out the Shack-Tool cutscene as well.
Now, do you think Jay is going to go check Shack-Tool first, or is he going to go kill Dragon and then check Shack-Tool?
You know, that's an interesting decision. I'm not sure. I think maybe checking Shack Tool would be the more like you feel behind play. Um, but that's interesting. We'll have to see what he does. But Ploff, despite having Kraid rise to power, makes short work of Kraid and is done causing that commotion in Lower Norfair. Is gonna pick up that screw attack.
Wow, so Ploff has just about everything they need in order to basically finish out this game without too much trouble.
Yeah, screw attack is nice. I think would have preferred plasma for sure, but it's definitely going to help you moving through the rooms you have left until you get to the end of the game here. And yeah, Jay is... it's funny, Jay knows where Speed Booster is, but did manage to pick up that Ice Beam down at Croc and is just going to use the Ice Clip to get through there. Jay is heading over to Dragon.
Now, at this point, I don't think Jay's going to be going back into Gauntlet to get that speed, just because it's kind of out of the way. Maybe on your way to Torian, but I just don't see it.
Well, we had fried shrimp earlier, and now we get microwave eel, which does not sound appetizing, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, and as chat is pointing out, that fight was a little bit faster with microwave versus doing a super fight.
That is true, but Ploff had a very clean super fight.
And now chat is discussing the edibility of fried shrimp versus microwaved eel.
Yeah, and Ploth is definitely feeling done with this seed. May feel like she's in a good position because of the call. To go down to Lower Norfair, ends up getting gravity there, but doesn't bother with the major down there in the Fire Flea's room. And so I imagine at that point we won't see much else checked. It's going to be a Fantoon kill and a rush over. No, fried shrimp is great, but I agree with Polar Bear Bunny. Any seafood that gets microwaved does not sound appetizing to me.
All right, so here comes a microwave shrimp. So Jay's obviously cooking all of his seafood the wrong way.
Ploff, a true connoisseur, fries the shrimp, right? Whereas Jay is just happy to microwave it.
All right, so Jay's going to be checking this item behind Dragon, which we know is just a reserve tank, unfortunately, for him. So now he's going to have to make the same decision Ploff had to earlier, which is, do you go up to Plasma or do you go down to Shack?
Yeah, and unfortunately, again, I think we're well behind a difference maker here, but it will be interesting to see what Jay's thought process is coming into this.
Yeah, I mean, as you said a little bit earlier, anything can happen. So it's hard to make a prediction until a dot done is made. But this is definitely Ploff's race to lose at this time.
Yeah, and with the execution we've seen on Ploff's side, I think that's a tall order for Jay to hope for. Yeah, and heading over to Plasma, it definitely appears. So at least we'll get to see what was up here. We know it's not Screw Attack. We know it's not High Jump. E-Tank, Spring Ball.
Yeah, I'm thinking it has to be Spring Ball or an E-Tank at this time.
Not sure how many reserves we've counted at this point, but...
Too many.
I don't mind reserve tanks that much. I've seen runners who don't want them at all, and I've seen runners who aren't bothered by that. I don't mind them. I guess because, I get hit by everything when I play, so the more health, the better.
Now, here's a good discussion in chat. What is the seafood tier list of Super Metroid?
I'm going to say we've officially lost chat. They're off the deep end, and no ocean pun intended there. And it is spring ball, so that's a fun item to have.
I'm surprised that we're not seeing an ammo unload into that spring ball, because that's definitely not what Jay's looking for at this time.
Well, now the question remains: Jay's decision, searching for Varia. Do you make the Shack Tool play, or do you kind of push through with what you have? I mean, you have to know it's there. I'm trying to think if there's other majors that we're missing at this point. I think the
And you
sand
know
pit.
that
I don't think we saw either. I don't think we saw left sand pit from either player. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
we did. Ploth went down through left sand pit on their way or on her way to do check tool. But what I was about to point out is that I think the biggest difference of why Jay went to go check plasma when Ploth did not is because Ploth did not have plasma or screw attack at the time to kill the pirates, and that would have been a soft lock. Jay had plasma, so could have very easily just gone and done it.
Yeah, that's certainly a good point. Didn't even cross my mind. Well, Ploff on the way to turn the lights on. Gonna get rid of this pesky Fantoon fight here. Get the power back. More than turning the power on, I think Ploth is interested in wrapping up the 4th of 4 bosses to get access to that Torian final fight.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, here's a good question for you / chat, anyone who might be familiar with Ploth. What do you think? Are we going to go for a baby skip, or are we just going to get our energy sucked away and go for the fight?
You know, I'm not too familiar with Ploth's running. Just in general, I'm not too familiar with how she handles that sequence. So my guess is as good as any. I see a couple, or at least the first throw in chat is baby skip skip. So we'll see. If anyone's familiar with Ploth's running, yeah, I'd love to know what you think about what she chooses to do here. And about halfway through the Fantoon fight, that's the time that Jay makes the progress to grab Various suit from Shack Tool. Does have Spring Ball, so can bounce his way out of this room instead.
Yeah, definitely. And chat is pointing out that Ploth is missing some key items to make baby skip a possibility. Granted, it can be done. It's just not very easy. And apparently, hype fight happening over on Fantoon. We're getting the check on the replay here. Ploth may have just gotten what's known as the Magic Frame Super over on that Fantoon fight, and it is confirmed that yes, it did happen.
Well, that certainly deserves some hype, but Ploth's whole run has been filled with hype execution and just awesome, entertaining play to watch. So very, very nice Fantoon kill. Truly living up to the Pro Gamer Girls team name there. I myself am not super familiar with that specific frame and execution there, so I'm taking your word for it, Seneth, and chat seems very hyped, so
All right, so Ploth gets the final ship save before jumping down into Torian. Gonna run right by Gauntlet. No reason to check it. And skip that speed booster. So this is going to be a slightly slower run out of Escape, but otherwise has everything she needs in order to make this fight super easy.
you could say it's more of a jog than a run, right? Since we don't have the speed booster.
It's more of a you get up after coronavirus is over kind of jog.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the VOD on that Fantoon kill. Well, I will say, and I see chat saying that it was maybe she just kind of went for it by accident. I will say that there's something to be said that when you're in the zone and it lives up to the run that Plop has had so far with execution, you know, when you're in the zone, good things happen like that. So even if it's accidental, I'd say it's still 100% just part of the skill, you know? So good on you, Ploff. And taking advantage of the ice beam makes this room so much nicer. And right now we've got Jay, after picking up that Variosuited Shack tool, is going to head down south, taking on, excuse me there, going to be taking on Kraid and then grab a Ridley fight on the way back up.
Yep, and Ploff is having some very clean Metroid room movement here. Does get one stuck to her, so she's going to have to bomb it off. There is a slight trick to doing this. You basically lay a bomb and just run into the bomb as it explodes, and the Metroid will get dislodged from Samus, and then you can freeze it and kill it.
And at the 1 hour mark, we are going to be seeing a baby Metroid make appearance.
Right, you are. And chat is kind of wondering how much closer could this have been if Jay didn't try to go for that Ridley kill twice and do some minor hunt.
Yeah, I'd say closer for sure. But I still don't know that there was enough available, you know, I mean, because Jay was looking, you know what I mean? Like Jay was kind of really hoping that there wasn't a suit in Norfair with the full clear or at least the full access of everything in wreck ship and stuff like that. So I think that it certainly would have been closer, but I think that that item placement just gives you, like we said, it's the one runner goes up, one runner goes down, and you know, kind of paid accordingly for their work there.
Yeah. Chat trying to do the math of how far ahead or behind each runner is right now and saying there's about a 10-minute difference, which, I mean, I think it's more than that, to be honest. Jay still has 2 bosses left, with Ridley fight turning into Kraid being one and then having to go up and kill Kraid for the second one. And Ploff is already going through the Zebatites, already did the ice skip, and is starting on Mother Brain 1. So I don't foresee this being a 10-minute difference.
Ploff flew through that ice skip.
See, I thought it was more of a hop.
Okay. I just... a hop, skip, and an ice beam shot away, right?
There you go.
Jay does manage to grab that quick kill on Kraid, though. Always fun to see. And is not even interested at what could be in the back door there. Which, it's a shame, because it was screw attack. Certainly not worth the time to pick it up, but I mean, that's just one of those things, quality of life and kind of the invincibility it gives you. Never a bad thing, especially since you have a Ridley fight ahead of you.
All right, so as you said, this is a longer fight having to do a full beam combo minus a plasma beam on Mother Brain until you start seeing those catch-ups. And then you do have enough super missiles in order to take down catch-up phase at this point. You do still have to be a little careful because you can still take quite a bit of damage, and if you fall under 3 tanks, that's game right there.
I've never seen the ketchup shoot straight down like that.
Oh yeah, Yeah, if you're not careful.
Well, still had
All
some
right.
in the reserves too, though. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no risk at that point once the rainbow beams started coming out.
yeah, and you could tell, I think, and obviously I'm reading into it from this side of the booth, but you could tell that the way Jay skipped screw attack was an I don't even have time to pick this up feeling, and that's a different
Hmm.
feeling. It's a different feeling than when you see a runner like comfortable with what they have and they're like, okay, I'm gonna skip this. Do you know what I mean? Like it's almost non-quantifiable, but you could just tell it was like an okay, Crate's dead, I need to leave right now.
Yeah, I mean, definitely feeling behind with all the checks that he's done, the back and forth and the up and down, up and down, up and down. It's been a fun kind of seed for Jay. Unfortunately, finding the suits where he did.
And I mean, you hate to see it because from the vantage point again, we have the the ultimate seat because we can watch everything happen all together. But as Jay was making plays, they were good plays. They just
Oh
were
yeah,
hit the wrong plays, but they just didn't pan out. But they were good plays. And Jay doing a really nice job with the shot block skip for Frog Speedway. And
yeah, and I
that,
even say
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I even said earlier that going up to Wreck Ship when Jay did was definitely a smart play, because if Fantoon was where he was, which we didn't know at the time, getting the Fantoon fight and seeing that, I mean, that there had to be a suit there, but unfortunately it was hiding underneath a Norfair Reserve and then in Meridia behind Shack Tool. It was just in really bad places overall.
Well, that sound can only mean one thing. We've bombed the eye of Mother Brain, and she is no more. Ploth is going to start that escape sequence. Gonna doing this without speed booster, so it's a brisk jog, not the run that we're used to seeing here at the end.
So, chat, I'm curious, before we get to the ship, what do you think the final count on the timer is going to be when we hit that ship?
And while Ploth is making efforts there to get through this room, Jay begins the fight pretty low on health, but is decked out in full defensive upgrades and protected from the heat damage. But Jay's taken on Ridley, and that's the last boss for Jay, so gonna be able to head over to Torian after this. Having to do the climb the regular way never feels good.
Oh yeah, this is never a fun climb, especially without the high jump boots.
And the Ridley claw grab procs the reserve tank, but is enough to leave Jay in a position with just 70 health, but that's enough to get out of that room. Ridley is down. Jay is on the way to Mother Brain.
I'm not sure that Jay's going to end up finishing, but we'll have to see here in a few moments.
And get those GGs in chat. Ploth is going to be taking away the win tonight. Well-deserved GGs. An amazingly executed run, showing off some awesome strats and execution, as well as some very cool and hype moments we had in Fantoon and Frog Speedway and some other places. So well deserved.
Yeah, definitely. And we are joined by Ploth in the booth. How you doing?
Good. How are you? How's it going?
Good.
Very good. GGs.
I don't know if anybody caught what I said in the SRL chat right after finishing, which was, wait, I won? Which is pretty much my current feeling.
Well, you just ended up making the right calls at the right times. It turned into yet another story of do you go up or do you go down in Red Tower?
Yeah. Well, going up in Red Tower, in Boss Rando, I find it's really hard to justify because you've got a 1 in 4 chance of Fantoon being there. And if Fantoon isn't there, then there's basically nothing for you up there.
Hmm.
Yeah, and betting on Croc worked well, which I was pretty pleased with how that worked out. I was thinking about what locations were still accessible, and I was thinking about what would make sense based on like the fill logic. So I bet on Croc, which is useful because it was progression. The other only like reasonably risky bet was Shack Tool. So I have opinions on Meridia routing. I find so I've mentioned this in previous interviews. I hate doing Meridia. If I can avoid doing Meridia to Rando, I will, because full clearing Meridia takes so long. Because you just have to go up and down so many times. But my feeling is that like, if you have to do Meridia, you should take a note from Hundo speedruns, and you should just do it in the order that Hundo does it. Which I feel like that tends to work out the best because you get a pretty efficient route. Like if you can go kill Dragon, the idea is you do it first, and then you check things roughly in order of like what's the closest to going down. So yeah, I felt actually surprisingly comfortable in the Shack Tool check just because there wasn't much else. Plasma is slow, and I was like, I bet this seed would do this. Would do something like that, and I was right, which is pretty sweet.
Well, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. The only other thing I have to say is please tell me somebody clipped that Fantoon super. Please tell me somebody got a clip of that. That is probably the most impressive thing I will ever do in Super Metroid, and it was completely by accident. For those that don't know, in case it wasn't mentioned, when I was fighting Fantoon, I miscounted on my missiles, and I shot a super early. But on super, on Fantoon, there is literally one frame when Fantoon's AI pattern changes, and it's frame perfect and RNG with no Q. And if you hit that, then you can get a super in without causing an enrage phase because it's during the AI change, like in the branch statement. And I got that by accident because I miscounted my supers. And I like I mentioned in the SRL chat, please tell me somebody saw that because it was incredible and easily the most noteworthy thing about this race for me, at least.
Well, I can assure you it was caught. Chat pointed it out, and we checked on the replay. It was amazing. It is clipped. It's there in chat, and it was just fantastic. And I actually want to comment on, not necessarily on that play specifically, but definitely don't sell yourself short. The routing calls were good, but the execution from get-go was very clean. And I think that even if it was an accident, so to say, I think there's something to be said for when you're in the zone and you were just moving through rooms and clearing stuff out. I mean, it was a clinic. It was very, very enjoyable to watch, and you definitely deserve to have something happen like that because that's the kind of play you were going for all game. So,
thank you. I appreciate that. Feels like my personal record with this rando has just been stop selling yourself short because I keep winning when I don't expect to. I keep thinking I don't think I'm going to win this match, and then I win. So I have to say I'm pretty pleased. I know J Chalk is a fantastic runner, so I'm quite pleased with that.
Now, I will say that the difference happened to be you two were pretty even going up into the crate room and finding Ridley for the first time. So doing all of that down into crate/Ridley was pretty even. And then Jay got to a point where he was like, all right, let's go check Rick's ship first before going down and doing hot rooms in Norfair. So he ended up going up Red Tower after the revealing of revealing of Ridley, where you did the hot rooms and ended up getting the magic pancakes in Norfair Reserve. So that's what ended up putting you solidly in the lead. Granted, Jay did find Fantoon as the first boss and killed Fantoon. So he was really hoping, for a suit upgrade, something in Wreck Ship. So he did a full clear Wreck Ship, which I know he hates doing. But it is what it is.
That was one of the things. So this entire race, I was thinking, I was literally thinking like, I have no idea if I'm ahead or not, because like I could think of several things where it'd be like, oh, I think this would put me ahead. But for each one of those, I could think of one thing that could potentially put me behind. And one of the things I was thinking was like, if Jay got baited into doing wreck ship, then there's a good chance he full cleared it, which means he didn't find anything very useful. And looking at the tracker, it looks like it was just spring ball and plasma, which are nice to have, but not required. Um, so,
Spring Ball
yeah.
was actually up at the plasma beam, and plasma was at
Oh.
gravity.
Oh, interesting. Well, what do you know about that?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, it was a good race. What were you gonna say?
No, I like I said, you had you established like a room or two lead early on. Like I said, the execution was really nice. But then it kind of came down to that we didn't know because you're looking in hot rooms. You went to Croc. Ice was nice, but then Jay went up and found speed booster at Gauntlet. Couldn't keep it because of the power bomb count, but had that information, and so it was kind of a who's gonna find what, And as we're going through,
Right.
Fantoon was there, so that was like a little bit of a plus for Jay. He's like, okay, you're gonna get 4 majors. What's gonna happen? But then it was just E-Tank, E-Tank, E-Tank,
Yeah.
and then Plasma. And it was like, all right. And then once you found Gravity, I mean, we knew that was a big edge, and it actually took Jay a little bit of time to get down there to grab that too. Was going for some other stuff, so went to do Croc, and yeah, it was yeah, it's just it's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough because I said it a
Yeah.
few times. There's bad plays and there's wrong plays, and so it's rough when
Yes.
a wrong play is what breaks a race down for you. But yeah, don't sell yourself short because the execution you had a lead despite the calls.
Oh wow.
And chat, just wanting to mention that High Jump Boots was also in Wreck Ship, so we had mentioned that, but the only reason it was never collected is because, like we said, Speed was locked behind Gauntlet, and there weren't enough power bombs in the seed in order to get that speed booster.
Right. Interestingly enough, the practice seed I did right before this also had a speed at Gauntlet, and I also went there in the practice seed with 5 power bombs and then sparked out. Although that ended up being a required speed booster. I remember when I was going through Lower Warfare, I was thinking about speed booster because I was thinking like, okay, we haven't found speed yet, which is good because I didn't expect that Jay would have bet on Croc, just because not a lot of people do. Some people do, some people don't. And so I was like, okay, if Jay didn't bet on Croc, then he probably doesn't have Batu and hallway progression. That's good because I have that. So there's something else I was gonna say too, but then I forgot what it was. So couldn't have been that important.
Yeah, Jay did see that speed booster, and it wasn't so much that he didn't have the ammo. He did try sparking out. He does know how to do those short charges. He just couldn't nail it. I think he gave it 5 tries in the line.
Yeah, it looked like something around like 3 or so tries. So
I know in the practice seed I did, I think it took me about 5 or 6 tries. I want to say it's about the same as the fast pillars spark for those familiar with any percent. I believe it's fast for. Whoa! Jay just got the speed zeb skip. That's super swag.
Yeah, and on the first try. I'm sure he's happy about that, but also could be disappointed because that's the same sort of trick required to spark out of Gauntlet.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Well, GG to Jay. It was a great race. I had a lot of fun. Boss Rando's fun. And I think that's all from me. See you next mission.
Yeah, see you next mission.
GG's, awesome work. And yeah, to speak to the credit of Jay, it was impressive to see Jay attempt the suitless Ridley fight on a stack of E-tanks. So, like we said, a very talented and determined run from Jay as well. But as you can see by the times here, the item layout really fell in favor of choosing to go down.
Yeah, definitely. And as you're saying that, credit to our runners and all that, be sure to go follow each of our runners on their channels and make sure you give them some really cool emotes whenever their emotes are turned off and you can actually chat. Be sure to tell them where you came from and that you really enjoyed their content. Looks like Jay's actually going to be going for a stand-up glitch here. And oh yeah, make sure that you're following us on commentary and tracking. Give 329th in line a huge follow for being an awesome co-commentator with me, and Iker for taking care of all the tracking with us.
Yeah, huge shout out to our tracker Iker. Thank you so much. And as always, Sineth, it is a pleasure to be up here in the booth with you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I didn't try inviting you for no reason.
Well, it looks like Jay is on par to get this stand-up glitch here, dealing the damage. Just have to be careful with the one transition.
Yeah, not a bad fight. We have everything we need to make this happen. It's just a matter of timing your jumps so that you land on the floor at certain times, and then yeah, Mother Brain 3 is going to be dead right quick and in a hurry.
Yep, and I think that Jay is in the safe zone, and I see Mother Brain exploding there, so that is definitely a good sign. Jay is ready to move on to the escape run here, and I'm sure Jay is ready to be done with this seed too.
All right, so let's see those guesses in chat. What do you think the final time is going to be? And will Jay save the animals?
I don't know about the animals, but what Jay will enjoy that Ploff did not have the equipment to do here is going to be able to speed boost through these rooms, and especially speed boost up that climb. As Jay took some extra time, after the dot done, Jay took some extra time to head up the gauntlet and grab that speed booster. I mean, why not, right? It makes it a little more convenient to run out of here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Not to mention making the speed zeb skip and yeah, just making the whole run out of here faster. No Behemoth Spark today, though.
Yeah, and Jay is one room transition away here.
Yep, gonna ditch the animals. Thinking about it anyways. Dancing over their cap there. Going back down. Are we gonna see a taunt the animals?
Jay, don't do it. Oh. Jay's got me on the edge of my seat there. Does decide to save the animals. Good on you, Jay. I always like to see save of the animals. I don't like to see it when a runner hasn't seen a dot done yet, but when there's a dot done, I always appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always nice to see it. That Metroid Fusion is canon confirmed.
Yeah, and with that last door transition, Jay is going to jump onto the ship and get your GGs in chat. Jay does finish this seed after a frustrating turn of events with item layout there. E-Tank, and Plasma Beam was all that was available in the wreck ship. But still deserving of some support and some GGs, because that was an awesome, hard-fought race as well. So
yeah, definitely. And I'm sure Jay will be coming in to join us for his quick interview.
Yeah, be interested to hear Jay's take on the wreck ship play, just how it all feeds into the thought process of that, because like I said, if it turns out to pay out, it's huge. And we are joined here by Jay in chat. Jay, GGs.
His microphone might not be working. I know sometimes he has some issues with it connecting to Discord after a race.
Heyo, sorry about that.
Hey, there
My
it is.
Discord, for some reason, just loves to not do its thing. I am here. How are we doing? Hello.
Hello, hello. GG's, Jay.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So that was rough. I wasn't happy with the decision to go up. I really did want to go. I wish I had saved before I did ice, because I would have just reset that that spazer, and then gone straight to Bubble Mountain. But because I didn't save before I did ice, I was only down to like 2 tanks. And I was like, I don't really want to farm. So then I went to Sloter's refill. I was like, maybe I should just turn around, because I feel like there's just like really nothing left open, and this feels like a really good play. But I didn't do that. And then pride kind of took hold of me, because I really just wanted to kill Ridley. I almost got it the first attempt. And then pride kind of took over, and so then I just kind of threw myself against Ridley a couple times, and I was like realizing I probably shouldn't be doing this anymore. And then I full cleared wreck ship, which something I never do, and turns out wasn't worth really anything. And then by that point I was really upset that I couldn't get the short charge out of Gauntlet, because that would have been huge. I would have had high jump boots, speed booster early on. That would have been tremendous, but I got it at the end there, and I was real mad because I got it within like 2 attempts or so. And but other than that, So how was it looking early game?
So early game up into Kraid, when you both discovered Ridley, that was pretty much room to room. You two were probably 1 or maybe 2 rooms apart, with Ploff taking the lead. Just had a little bit better movement there, just room to room. You guys both did the Kraid check, saw Ridley, turned right around, and then it turned into, do you go up or do you go down? And both of you went to high jump, and then like you said, both checked Ice Beam. Ploff did the farm energy in order to do the heat rooms, and you went up.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, we've said it a couple of times if you watch the restream or anything, but it's the first time we're getting to speak with you. The difficulty there is we were getting new information on both sides so often as you do in a rando, and when we saw it was Fantoon, that you start to think, oh, is this gonna work out? That's a big gamble to pay off. Gets you 4 more checks, gets you, and it just, when you start turning out E-tank, plasma, and then around the same time as you're, popping E-tanks open, Ploth found the gravity suit. We're like, well, there it is. There's the payout. So
yep. I was worried about that, and then I already knew I was behind, so I went ahead and did a rush to Dragon, and then Plasma, and then Shack Tool, and then I ultimately found Varia. But I think my route, again, if I would have just saved at the Beachhome Speedway, I would have reset at Spazer, and then I would have gone to Bubble Mountain. But I wasn't gonna be bothered to farm up some health for the run. And then that kind of bit me, but that's okay. That's all right. It's all good.
And there's chat's answer too, because they were asking right at that time when you were both down there by Beachhome Speedway, before you went to go check the ice. They were like, wait, why didn't they save and then save scum that Ice Beam? Because that would have been the Galaxy Brain play. So like you said, that may have been what cost the race right there.
Yep, definitely.
I do appreciate. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just So now I have a Smrat tournament match in about 30 minutes. So we're going back to back here. Got my match 2 versus Tillymorph. Winner go. Well, if I do win, I can go on to the Elite 8. But if I lose, we got it scheduled for Wednesday. So I'm not gonna let this match hopefully get in my head too much, because I can't let that happen.
Yeah, well, actually,
definitely.
I was gonna say, a lot of compliments to almost finish off that suitless Ridley fight. So there was a lot of skill that went into your run. It went into both runs, but I wouldn't let it get into your head, especially because, like we said, the Fantoon gamble, 50% paid off, because you got the right boss. It was what you needed. It just didn't turn out. And if there's a suit up there, one of the suits, it's a completely a completely different game. So it's
Yeah, I was really hoping to find a suit up there. That's okay.
Yeah, when we saw Gravity, it was still a good chance that Vari was up there.
Yeah, yeah.
So again, it's just one of those things. It just was a shame to see them both in the same location. I think we even commented when the split happened was, ideal scenarios, both runners find something good and have to backtrack and keeps the race close.
Yeah. I was pretty. What was behind Ridley? Just curious.
It was an E-tank.
Oh, okay. Oh, that'd been nice. Yeah, I totally had it that very first attempt. If I didn't get hit, I got into the arms and everything. All I needed was just like, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 more health, but I got hit prior to my finishing move, and I don't know if that would have made a difference, but I don't know how many times I attempted Ridley, 3 or 4 times. I'm not sure. I went back like twice. Did Ploth try it a few times, or was it like I'm gonna wait until I get my stuff and then go and get it and then go and do it?
No, Ploth came back at the end. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
After
that cost quite a bit of time. And I kept telling myself, no, I'm gonna do it this time. Now, and then I got that cycle of, I think I can do it. I know I can. And if I don't do it, then it was just a waste of time anyway. And I just got in this cycle of, when should I stop? I couldn't stop.
Yeah, that sunk cost fallacy, right?
For sure, exactly. I think it would have been even more different if I would have landed that Shine Spark out of Gauntlet, because I was really, really hype to know how to do that, and I couldn't pull it off because I would have had Speed Booster, and then ultimately Wreck Ship would have had High Jump Boots, and those 2 items are huge for movement. So along with Space Jump, that would have been, going through, any Meridia, any of Lower North Fair, all of that would have been huge. Unfortunate. Did Ploth get speed? Okay, Ploth did get speed. Or no, Ploth did not get speed. Okay, interesting. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. That would have been huge. Or High Jump Boots. So those 2 items alone, plus not dying to Ridley a bunch of times, just would have been amazing. Anyway, I'm going to go get prepared for my Smrat match. Thank you so much, Sinith and Inline, for the commentary, which I would assume would be amazing. Congrats to Team Pro Gamer for 2-0ing Meme Team tonight. Thank you, chat, for being awesome. And thanks to Tracker, whoever tracked this match. Appreciate you. Hope everyone has a fantastic day, and goodbye.
Have a good day, Jay, and good luck on the next race.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. And that tracker, once again, is Ike here. So big love and support to our tracker, Ike here, who helps make all of this possible. It would be so hard to follow this game if we didn't have the dedication of the trackers running too. And a big thank you to my co-com, Sinith. I appreciate you inviting me once again to this awesome match. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for coming and making this an interesting match to COCOM together. And thank you to Iker as well for tracking. Thank you to JChalk and Ploth for making this a very interesting run to watch. Be sure to go follow both runners on their respective channels and give them all the GGs, all the love and adoration. We could not do this without them. And as always, if you're not following Speed Gaming, be sure to follow each of the channels. Speed Gaming 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 5 or 6 of them now. And we're always doing these kinds of cool things here, and you can definitely check out where these runners will be in the future. And as always, see you next mission, Deer Force.